don't need a bag.
That was dreadful.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Evil Recap. I'm Larice, this is Justin, and we have Walter with us today.
Hey, guys.
Yes, Walt Frazier right there, not the basketball player. It's my other half, my better half. Joining us from my basement. Doesn't that sound creepy? Sorry.
Stretch me out for play 1 hour a day.
It opens with Kristen in the bathtub, and she's drinking the wine or whiskey. Is it whiskey or wine?
Whiskey. Yeah.
Drinking whiskey from the bottle from the monks from last week. And the girls are outside singing, and she's very short with them.
I feel like she's doing a lot of drinking. All of a sudden, she was very, very giddy last week.
I wasn't the only one who thought that Kristen was a little bit too relaxed in the last episode. And in this episode, she seems to be more aggressive than I would expect her to be.
Go away, I'm taking it back.
I think she's stressed out because Andy's coming home and she doesn't want to see him.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't want to see him either. I don't like him.
A lot of people don't. I didn't realize how disliked he was.
Well, he's not David.
I mean, David's going to be a priest, so that's a dead end.
If my theory is correct, he'll never be ordained. This episode also reinforced my belief that she's going to murder her husband by the end of the season.
Oh, my God.
No! He's still the father of her kids, so I don't think that would happen. But maybe he'll murder Cheryl, or Cheryl will murder him.
I was going to say, maybe the mom does it. The mom might take him out.
Now that they're doing a streaming show, they can show a lot more. He wanted to turn the light on. She wanted to turn it off. She didn't want to see his face.
I think it was she didn't want him to see the marks.
Oh, maybe.
Then when he saw them, she was all like, touch him, touch him, touch him.
It's a little masochism, right?
I thought I had the wrong word with that, but I think it was the right word. I used masochism too. I thought I had the wrong word. What I thought was weird is that they just thrusted this upon us because we didn't see any self-harm in previous episodes. So it was like, here's some self-harm for you.
Everything she's been doing lately has kind of been like out of the blue.
So I got something here. Is there anything significant that she took the wolf and gave him the cat? Oh, it's a tiger, so I don't know if that's like the dog.
No, I thought it was an
chasing the cat.
anteater.
Yes, it was an anteater.
Oh, that's just weird.
Another moment, out of the blue, she does something weird. Like she just stopped at Party City. She turned them into furries for the night.
And that monastery really gave her some ideas for the gags too.
And then we have that goo. And what the heck?
I don't know, because that wasn't any type of bodily fluid. So I don't understand.
God, I hope not.
Some people had mentioned, I saw in the Facebook chat group, they were like, is that demon semen?
It's alien blood, like from the movie Aliens, that burns through every layer.
Is it the same as the goo from the demon box?
Well, that stuff didn't burn the floor, though.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And it's weird that no one noticed it. Like throughout the episode, no one walked through the house and noticed, hey, this isn't supposed to be here.
Oh, I need a kitty.
I love the double take she does as the tigress when she kid. Okay. This is very demonic activity to me.
No, it's
I
just,
agree.
they're just being furries.
Trying to scare the kid. This just doesn't look like she's trying to be funny.
She didn't really know what else to do.
Lynn is already 15, 16? She's got to know what they were doing in there, though.
Which is horrifying enough. But then to see her with this
is.
freaking mask on.
I think she might be scarred for life.
Ah!
Why are they investigating this thing exactly? This helmet?
They're looking for propaganda to gain new parishioners.
There's always something bad that he has them up to this season, it seems like. He never has any good intentions with anything anymore.
I mean, and that came apparent to me when we reviewed C is for Cop. I believe all of his agendas are motivated by money.
And even the exorcism with Leland, it's because Leland paid them.
It's money, it's politics, it's everything but spirituality. I wonder if he's possessed.
Ooh, I didn't think about that one. Okay.
He might be in on at the whole thing with the 60.
Like, remember how hard he tried to dissuade them from checking into the fertility clinic?
Yeah. So they interview these people.
There's a moment of this where they seem surprised that they're going to go under the cap. Like, it almost feels like the three of them thought they were just there to interview people and investigate. they weren't going to go for first-hand trial. Like, is that the bishop again?
No, the archdiocese told them that they might want to be subjects. I was very suspicious by that happening. I was like, why would he tell them that they wanted to do that when they didn't even know about it?
This is not looking like it helps depression. This is not like something I would want as a treatment for depression. I put it up there with slightly below shock therapy.
Sometimes you need that cry to let go of all you've been holding on to.
No.
not.
I would do that. I don't care what I would see, whether if it's heaven or hell. I wouldn't believe in it. But for him, I think part of his mental anguish that he's experiencing is based on what he experienced in E is for Elevator. That's why Abby keeps coming to him, is because she was with him in that moment too. And he just needs to tell somebody, I've got this demon in my brain. Can you help me out?
You know, he was a devout non-believer day one, and he kind of stayed that way all throughout last season. But then this season, every episode, I think there's been something to challenge that for him.
Yeah, but the main thing is he's got a demon night visitor girlfriend that keeps showing up uninvited. Yeah. He was like, I'm happy being skeptic, but now my demon girlfriend is here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want her. She doesn't seem to be picking up on any of the signals that I'm sending. I'm just not that into you.
What was that thing at the end, though? Just the hands coming out. I recognize the hands as like the girlfriend's hands.
Yeah, he obviously has some unresolved mommy issues here.
I really agree, because he kept questioning what she thought of him after this experience. He said, I didn't reject Allah, Allah rejected me. I was like, wait a minute, what does that mean?
Maybe it's a little bit of foreshadowing.
You know, I really want to know what that means, because I want to look more into why he became an atheist.
She says in this vision to look at the prostitute's feet, and they're backwards. I thought she was walking backwards down the road.
No.
What? Why? Something's afoot.
I thought the feet were backwards simply because that wasn't a human. That was Abby.
Now, did this really happen, or is this part of his vision?
Because I feel like it's one thing and then it's another, right?
What is it?
It's Abby. See?
It's there.
Okay.
I think that body and those hands are a metaphor for Abby. Otherwise, why would they flash her face like that?
I think this starts out as a latent memory of something that actually happened, of an actual ghost that maybe had blocked out of his memory. In the last minute, the vision becomes Abby. I wonder if there's an actual latent, like, one of the reasons he's turned away from spirituality is out of fear, this memory that's been buried deeply or something like that.
Oh, that's a good theory.
This wasn't a pleasant experience for Ben. And we're back to the masks.
I would throw them away if I were him.
Burn them.
Uh-oh, he's going through her diary.
Now, is that the one that Leland gave the girls? Did she confiscate one of them, and Kristen took it? And yeah, that's right, because he finds all the sigil stuff.
Not the sigil stuff, the mappings of the houses.
All right, that's what I thought it was sigils when I first saw it. That was my mistake.
It looked like sigils, no?
Oh no, I guess those are bushes.
I thought they were sigils.
Yeah, those aren't sigils.
I'm actually surprised that he didn't find the pig sigil, the one with the gutted pig.
Those maps are of where the murder house was?
Well, later she says that she draws the houses of people who piss her off. It could be that, or it could be LaRue's house. Yeah, her mapping it out to go kill him.
But it looks like there's more than one house. I'm like, does she have like a hit list?
I actually want to see her kill someone else.
You want him to be on her hit list.
I really do.
Going in the next scene, Leland, Sister Andrea butt heads. He calls her on the ammonia. We don't know what she is, but I think, Walt, you mentioned you think she's an angel then?
Well, either she's possessed by an angel or she's just a truly devout Christian, Catholic, a warrior, old world. She sees through all the politics and the BS. She's just resolute and said, no, I'm here to fight you, and is prepared. Really quick, really, really, really wise beyond her years, as even though she's the senior. I just have to say, I just love Andrea Martin too.
I actually thought that she was going to stab him in that scene. And then she could say, he attacked me. And that's how I thought it was going to go.
I had a feeling that she was actually going to go through with it, but she pulled it out so quick that it was like she was ready for it. And he seemed very taken by surprise. Whatever he said about how come I don't know you made me feel like there was something more supernatural or some type of, she was more than just a nun. I don't know.
Do you think she could be an angel in the form of a human on Earth?
In the beginning, when she first appeared, I was afraid that it would be only David that was seeing her. And then other people are seeing her, so she's obviously human or taken a human form. They're being very cryptic about it.
You ever get the sense Leland thinks he's bigger than he is?
Yes.
You know what I
big.
mean?
Yes.
There's something about the way he says, your ass is mine, as if almost he thinks he's Lucifer himself. He's calling the shots. Like,
I think he's Lucifer's number one. So in a way, he is top dog on the planet. You're suggesting that it might be a facade?
there's something to me going on with the mother, right?
Cheryl.
Yeah, ever since they had sex and she leaves with the red dress, right? And all of a sudden she seems possessed. It almost feels to me like whatever was in him jumped to her and he thinks he's still doing the devil's bidding. But there's something that feels very much like we're setting him up to be much less than he thinks he is or we think he is.
He's definitely taken a shift this season to be less antagonizing and more comical from the very beginning when he jumped up when they were in the field and he started dancing to Funky Town. This is the villain of the show. And then she tells David they need to prepare because the enemy is getting closer.
Leland is the enemy, in my opinion.
So the next thing is just Ben talking to his sister about his experience. Now he tells her it was a dream. He didn't tell her the whole situation that he was in or anything like that. He has some guilt. Something obviously happened. He says something to his sister about it, but she doesn't want him to be
dwelling on it.
Yeah, she's being self-destructive about it because what's happened has happened. He can't really change what's happened.
There's also a riff when he turned his back on Islam. And I think there's another riff when he kind of turned his back on whatever science project, his prestigious career path. So he's back on both those things.
I have reason to believe that they're not going to tell us the real thing that's eating away at him, because I think that it has something to do. The core of it is that this cast 3 thing, like Walt said, I think that he's forever haunted by it.
And maybe Abby is just a manifestation of all of this.
Yeah, that's definitely a good theory. But I do believe that they are going to leave us hanging.
Yeah, they have a lot of explaining to do. This is like, what the hell?
My favorite part.
First off, she has a total Karen moment here because she's screaming at the people that they're not moving the line fast enough. She's literally yelling at everyone at the store. I'm more mad about this than I'm mad about her freaking hitting the guy, because the guy kind of deserved that. But like, this guy cuts in line, right? She hits him over the head with frozen French fries.
For me, that was a very satisfying moment because, yeah, she was being a bit of a Karen, but he was also being like I don't know if this is the term that people use, but he was kind of being a Michael.
A Chad.
Even better.
Or Kevin. Andy doesn't like this side of Kristen. He's different from him. He thinks the whole thing is bizarre. Quite frankly, I don't really blame Andy at this point. I would be like, what? You're going to get arrested.
He looks terrified.
I don't blame him. We'd all want to hit these people in the face, but we don't. They're interviewing more people. I don't understand.
Like I said, I don't know why they're doing the whole interview thing, but I like that they're showing it from different perspectives, that not everyone had a very enlightening experience. I mean, it would be just my luck that I would get a hellish experience.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. I just paused just to talk. So Kristen has no problem because she doesn't believe. She's a skeptic. And then she makes a joke about not having a soul. Her whole attitude is really obnoxious here.
At this point, she was already under, though, because she was having that strap was undone and kept.
Yeah.
That was her trigger. Yeah.
Yeah. She's entered the inception.
It's funny. She and Ben both had a moment where they thought they were done, kind of a thing.
Definitely.
Basically, her vision is of him having a vision of what she did, which is murder. LaRue. You know what, though? He has had visions of her. And in the beginning of the season, remember, it opened when she was walking towards the goat devil.
And then, when he says, I saw you killing LaRue, my first instinct would be, to say, no, I didn't. But she said, that's not likely. I'm like, that's not a response that somebody would give if they did kill somebody and they're trying to cover it up.
Well, I'm glad they gave us the scene of what actually happened, because it did pretty much confirmed that she definitely killed LaRue, because there was still a little bit of doubt in my head.
You had doubts?
Yeah, I had doubts that she killed him for some reason. I thought maybe she imagined the whole thing.
I thought she's all but admitted it. The cop called her on it. Like, I thought it was
I
pretty
don't know
established.
why. I feel like she may have imagined it and might even be delusional enough to think that she did it when something else happened. I'm not quite sure, but I thought they were intentionally trying to mislead us for a while. And I have a theory that maybe LaRue was still alive also.
Well, Walt, what do you think about her whole vision quest thing?
Oh, I think it's dark. I think it's a very interesting twist. You know, how much of it does she want to tell David about what is really going on?
Because in her vision, Dr. Boggs tells her to confess. So maybe she does want to tell him.
Right when he said, I think you should go to David and tell him. I was like, this isn't real.
What I thought was bizarre was how fast she got from one place to the other, and they showed her in her car. When they first showed that transition, when she said, I have to go, and they showed it like as if she was sitting in the driver's seat of the car, and she went over the bridge really fast. I was like, nobody goes over that bridge that fast. She's horrified that Leland's eating David's leg, but she's not horrified that she killed LaRue.
I think she's relieved that David doesn't know she killed LaRue.
I would be relieved too.
This is why I don't do vision quests.
Now she's really driving over the bridge. It sounds like she's driving.
You're right. 59th Street Bridge would never be able to go that fast.
For this, in Dr. Boggs, when he says, do you want your husband or do you want David? I think her husband represents neediness and loneliness, and David represents excitement and exhilaration.
Or maybe does she want David because he's unattainable? He's going to be a priest.
He's the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden.
If they do get together, I don't think it would stop him. I think he wants to be a priest. I don't know. I don't think it would stop him unless other people found out about it. So Andy goes to talk to Cheryl, and Eddie is there. And that's Eddie!
Oh my God, that thing creeps me out. I think it's going to end up talking by the end of the season, though.
Anybody else notice the demon wings behind Eddie?
Up here?
It's in the wood paneling design.
That's wallpaper. It looks like really bad wallpaper.
You think that design is intentional?
Yeah.
I think so, very much so.
That's horrible wallpaper, so it has to be intentional.
Yeah.
Do we think that Eddie is a demon?
Either Eddie's possessed or it's, demonic projection.
Or she's just bat crap crazy. Well, he saw the doll. I guess he's had enough conflict with Cheryl. He's got to pick his battles. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. Because seriously, we have a bigger problem at hand than you being creepy with a doll and candles. Kristen's hitting people over the head and making me have sex with masks on and gags. We didn't hear him say anything, right? She was just talking to him.
Yeah, he didn't say anything, no.
Maybe he said, kill him.
And if he had actually said that, I would have been like, yes, he's known for leaving at large stretches of time. So just give him a quick stab in the carotid and it's over.
She calls him on it. She's not wrong. She has had to adapt. I don't disagree with Cheryl. I just disagree with the doll and her being weird.
It's like one of those things where you've been far from perfect. It leaves a scapegoat for the bad.
I understand she is acting really weird, okay? But she's right. Cheryl's right now. So it's now time for David to go, but I think Kristen is afraid he's actually going to have this vision.
He didn't see shit.
Well, that's quite a disappointment because David counts down and nothing happens.
But as we find out, he has apparently lost his ability to have any kind of vision at all, simply because he participated in that experiment. I thought it was going to enhance his ability to see God. And I was rather disappointed that he didn't get a chance to do that, because that's all the guy wants, is just to talk to God.
Yeah, and he tells her basically what you said. You get nothing.
When she says, we need your abilities, what the hell does that mean?
She seems to believe he has something.
She is cryptic and confusing to me, so I'm still trying to figure her out.
Basically, she says Leland is coming and we need to get ready for him.
I mean, all you have to do is shoot him in his face and he's dead, so.
Well, if he has this goat man on him and protecting him, I don't know. For Lucifer. So the bishop goes and asks them each whether they think that this could be a tool to obviously bring more people to the church.
I thought that he was just going to take what Kristen and Ben said and send it off to the Vatican, because David doesn't like it, because he didn't have an experience, and it kind of fucked up with his vision quest thing.
They all have different opinions, like you said. Kristen is all for it, which I'm very surprised because her vision was not pleasant at all. David is adamantly against it because, as you mentioned, it messed up his brain. It rewired him, so he's not having vision. Obviously, nothing happened. And Ben's kind of like, now it made my nightmares worse. So
I don't think that's the reason why David's against it being used by the church and the other two aren't. Besides their individual experiences, I think the two that are not of the faith per se are like, we don't really agree with anything you use to come to the church, so why not?
They don't care.
You know?
They don't really care. They're just like,
Chris
whatever.
is saying like there are benefits psychologically. Like the older, even if you don't believe in God, supporting religious teaching, if it helps people cope with day-to-day life, then there's a benefit, right? A lot of people think like, even if it's not religious, if it's not God, spirituality is a very important thing to a human, right? So it's like, okay, if that's what this person needs to hold it together, I think David's more taking the moral high ground, says, wait a minute, this is a false positive religious experience kind of a thing.
Well, he was concerned because it was giving people visions of hell too.
Yeah.
And he doesn't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, because you're essentially forcing someone to have a vision and hoping that that vision that you force them to have is a religious vision of hell or heaven or whatever they want.
I want to talk about the whole Andy, but the unicorn book. And what was in them, and did he lie about Laura? Did Andy lie about Laura seeing them? Because we didn't actually see it happen.
Yeah, that was really confusing to me. But Andy doesn't really seem like the type to lie about something like that.
Yeah, not about kids.
So Laura came in and saw these maps that she drew of people's houses and said they were
have to kill people. Yeah.
It would have been nice to see Laura come in, but as you mentioned, it's actually Lexi that knows what Kristen did, because Kristen tried to get her to change her story for the cops, remember? Lexi knows. She knows what her mom did. So maybe Lexi told Laura.
And I don't know about you, Walt, but I would be considerably terrified to touch her if I saw those cross burns on her stomach.
And I was looking it up. I couldn't remember the term, but I think it's a good chance that she's doing what they call self-flagellation, not self-flagellation, but flagellation. What like Paul Bettany's character does in Da Vinci's Code, where you whip yourself, but you're punishing yourself, and it's your way of like self-penance.
All I can think about is flatulence. I'm sorry.
Self-flagellation.
Self-flagellation. No, seriously, like I am like thinking this is all because of her guilt over killing LaRue. In Christianity, self-flagellation is practiced in the context of the doctrine of the mortification of the flesh and is seen as a spiritual discipline. It is often used as a form of penance and is intended to allow flagellate to share in suffering of Jesus, bring his or her focus to God. But she's not religious, so that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I wonder if she's coming to religion more and more, you know?
No,
it's the demon. So. It's the demon, or she's punishing herself because she's psychologically.
She beat the shit out of somebody at a supermarket. She's not coming to Jesus. I really don't think she wants to push the demon out. If there is a demon in there, I think she's enjoying her life with the demon.
Yeah, it does seem that she doesn't care that it's there.
No.
She seems very unapologetic to everything she does, even if it's completely out of line. In closing,
overall, I really enjoyed this episode, and I really hope Andy dies. More sex with animal masks.
I don't want to ever see that again. And then the demon semen or whatever that was that fell to the ground. I don't want to know what that was. Honestly, I hope they explain it, but I have a feeling they're not going to explain that thing.
You know what would be awesome is for that to happen again, and somebody that we don't like Leland or Grandma, gets it on their body and they just die from it.
It'd be like scary movie too.
Those two are too important to go out that fast. They have to go out a little bit more epically. A lot of unanswered questions that I'd like to get answers to. We don't know what the goo is. We don't know why Kristen is burning herself with the crosses. We don't know exactly what Ben's situation is. It's pretty clear that Kristen is not happy in her marriage right now at all. But I never really had a moment in this episode that I thought was slow, other than a couple of those interviews, but they went pretty fast. If that was the only downtime, I'm fine with it. I was very much upset when it ended kind of abruptly. That was my only issue, because I didn't want the episode to end. Shit is slowly hitting the fan. That's what I feel.
I think we need more demon sperm. I think no. No, I like the show. I really enjoy.
It's funnier if you say demon semen.
Oh, so I really want to see more demon semen burning through the floor like alien blood. I think that's what this show needs more of.
Well, next week is about aliens, but go on.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
maybe that's what's really going on. What if all demons are really just aliens?
Well, Bigfoot. Well, yeah, a lot of the cryptozoology creatures people think are aliens. So
I think most of the people that go on those shows are aliens.
that is a very good possibility, especially when they never find Bigfoot. But overall, this was a great episode, and we hope you guys enjoyed our recap. And please hit that like button, because for some reason we're not getting a lot of views. I don't know why. YouTube doesn't like me. But if you're still with us, congratulations. We're very, very happy. Either way, you can follow all of us, and you can also join our evil fan group chat on Facebook. That's our show. And we will see you guys next week with the aliens.